Recently you just talked about things you learned in your leadership qualities on your time on board this year. So can you go off on like some of the initiatives and moments where you went above and beyond and tailor that to your qualifications becoming the president this year?
So I was a lot more on like the behind the scenes of it since I was a secretary, and I really learned from my executive board experience that you really have to take initiative and go after the experiences you want on board. And one of the interests I had on board was working on professional development events, and I decided to work with Darla and took initiative to plan this event. I was able to, along with Darla, I was able to get speakers and really really try to plan the event to make sure that it was catering to all of you, because I wanted to show you guys, like, the purpose of the event was to make sure that all of you saw a mentor in the future, and to see, because in a career, it's important for you to see people who are like you so that you can succeed. So that's like one of the ways that I've been working on going above and beyond, just not going outside of my role too.
What is something that you can implement as president that previous presidents have not done?
Something that I really want to implement is that at the start of the semester, at the start of last year, e-board was a little bit hard to get people to speak out immediately. And I know, like, in the middle of the year, Rachel really brought up what is your why, and encouraging us to do that. So I want to make sure that I'm clear about reminding the e-board what their motivation is at the start. And I also want to implement meetings at the start of the year to make sure I understand what every e-board member is planning to get out of their experience with Troy 5. So that's something. So I want to make sure that I'm developing a close relationship with the people on board, so that there's that transparency and that space for them to speak up.
A concern from general members with their programming is that you have to pay to do a lot of our events. How do you want to counter that to have them still be included in our programming in our community, despite kind of having to charge for these things?
Well, I think a lot of the great events that we have are actually free, like our cultural events too. And the way that I would explain address to them that even though you have to pay a lot, there's still events outside of parties or retreats that are accessible to them that are free. So you don't have to pay a lot of money to feel really welcome to the club. People do things like casually meet up, and people are able to integrate into the community just by spending time with one another, and they don't have to spend money necessarily for that.
My constructive criticism for the president this year is that her vision was to create this club into a more cultural club, right? But I didn't really see that as a culture chair. So what is your vision, and how do you plan on committing with that?
On the cultural side, Darla actually addressed it. She asked you actually about reaching out to high schoolers, and I think part of it is that at USC and other universities we have a space for Filipino Americans. So maybe reaching out to high schools to give them the resources to create that same space for them. That's one way I would see community-wise integrating cultural aspects. In addition to that, I think that what we did with Filipino Heritage Month and encouraging conversations between in meetings, I would want to do something more similar to that and something more often, so that we can really get in touch with our roots.
Can you talk about some of the traditional things that we've done as Troy Philippines and how you choose to put your own spin on them?
I think with every event, sometimes you may feel that you always have to do something just because we always do it. For example, the Troy 5 pageant. It's something that we do every year, and I noticed sometime this year that the turnout wasn't very popular for that. So I think with events in general, I think that even though it's tradition, we need to really look at our audience and see, is this something that our audience wants? And just because it's tradition doesn't mean we always have to do it.
Let's go for questions.
Can you say one moment in your experience in Troy Philippines that really encapsulated your why?
honestly, like it's PACN for me. When I was at the PACN, the day retreat was something that really encapsulated my why, because we were all in like a circle together sharing our stories, and even though I didn't fully relate to everyone's stories, like all of them like really touched me, because you guys mean a lot to me, and like when I saw people like getting emotional, like I really empathize with that, because I genuinely like care about each one of you, and like I found pieces of myself in your story. So that's my why, because of all of you.